have been addressed. We had had this conversation earlier, and we had said we are going to adopt the 8 issues that are addressed. The 50-something issues that are still outstanding, we are also going to adopt the Auditor General's report and then make recommendations for appropriate action, which is follow-up and closure within a prescribed framework. So the House is going to advise us on the 27th of March on how long we should give you to close these issues. Because as I'd said, there are some things here which you cannot sit in Nairobi and resolve. The pit latrines and the ECD classrooms and the roads that the auditor has flagged. Now, for the record, Auditor General, which are the issues that in your estimation have been addressed? I think they were under use of goods and services.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. It's under use of goods and services. That is page 3 on the summary briefs.
So, which one has been
yes, Chair. Which paragraph?
2.1. Paragraph 2.1.
2.1, you had queried 4.5 million for printing advertising.
The Chair, here the issue was the payment vouchers were not provided at the time of audits, but currently those payment vouchers has been provided.
They have been provided, so the 4.5 million has now been supported.
Yes.
The next one?
2.2, unsupported expenditure, utility supplies and services. We queried around 6 million. Again, the management, the issue is here, the payment vouchers and the relevant supporting documents were not provided. And currently the management were able to provide that. So the payment vouchers
so just to confirm that, for example, 2.2, just randomly, could we see the annexure, the supporting documentation for the 6 million? Because yes, we would agree with you, but also we have a responsibility to verify. Governor, which annexure supports the 6 million under 2.2?
2.2.
Annex?
Oh, Mr. Chair.
Quite a lot of...
Page 305, yeah.
305, page 305.
So, Auditor, you had queried the payment voucher and supporting documents. I can see a payment voucher here where the payee is Kenya Power. Is that the one?
Yes.
The 6 million was paid to Kenya Power?
Yes. Yeah, at the time of audit, this voucher was not availed, but now we are seeing the voucher.
Governor, why are you making your life complicated? You are paid Kenya Power, which obviously must be a legitimate payment. Now, the people of Kisii, in their mind, ulikula 6 million, as per this report. Because these reports, when they come out, people make conclusions. If these records were available in the entity, why were they not provided to the Auditor General?
Chairman, over 2 years, there's a fight back and forth on making system work. Therefore, you'll find that even documents miss intentionally because they would want, the same people, Mr. Chair, they would even give the Auditor General that investigate this particular item of Kenya Power. We're not sure that it was paid. Then later on they produce, because again, the perception which is created outside there, as you put it, when the report is out there, is that this money has been stolen. Until today, we told people that yes, there was a voucher of 6 million, which emerged from either it dropped here on the floor of the office. Nobody can believe. Therefore, Chair, is work in progress. Civil service, I've not been there before. You realize that it's very hard to deal with the individuals, but when system they're working, indeed, we'll be able to have things working. With accruing accounting of that, we'll be able to sort a number of these problems going forward.
But the accounting standards will not solve your human resource problems. Because what you're talking about is probably sabotage or you are carrying baggage. It is your job to fix it.
Chair, as it were, you realize that human nature, it takes time. When people, they are used with a certain system, to change them, otherwise you'll break them. Things have to really...
Let's be specific. Who has the job of providing documentation and supporting evidence for this 6 million? Who is that person?
Is that accountant, Chair?
Who is that? What's the name of that person, or what is that position?
I may not know every person who's supposed, but the person who was asked to provide that voucher and did not present. Chair, I've read about action since this report, because this report, when it came out on the roll, as it were, before it was all over how Kisii has wasted public money. Then I've told them, anybody who answered a question with the Auditor General ought to tell us what did he do at that particular time to get the
Have
right
you
information.
taken administrative action on the person who was supposed to do this simple task? Because you can be frustrated, you can express frustration, but you have the instrument of taking administrative action. And that's why I said at the beginning that officers have been hiding behind the back of the governor, because it's a governor who takes the questions. We want now to go directly. This is, I said earlier, this is a waste of the time of the Senate. 6 million, and I see the payment voucher here, I see a schedule of meters. Why should it be a big issue that ends up in an audit report, Governor? Have you
Chair.
taken administrative action?
Chair, on that same issue, you see, Governor, as the Chair said, today is a Monday. Definitely the senators would be engaged doing other things, but we're here to look at the accounts of Kisii County. And you come across a payment, a voucher, that is as authentic as they come. But at the time of the audit, this document was not there. Now, you speak to us about sabotage, and I'm wondering, where are those saboteurs? Are they at lower cadre, or actually those saboteurs could be seated just next to you? Because at what point do you make demands that certain documents must be availed for purposes of audit? Governor, I will put this to you, that we can do whatever we want to do. We can say all the things that we want to say. But once an audit report is out, that is what sticks in the minds of your people. That the governor ate 6 million of our money that was supposed to be paid to Kenya Power. It doesn't matter whether you now go and present those documents, the vouchers. Once the train has left the station, the train has left the station. Pick it up the next station. So those saboteurs, Governor, what we are saying is, they are not just hurting you as governor, they're not just hurting the image of your county, they are also making us spend our time in a manner that is not useful. We are not supposed to be getting vouchers on the day that we are reviewing your documents. Those vouchers are supposed to be availed to the auditors during the time of audit.
And you'll see the next query, I'm looking at your next years, payments made to Safaricom, payments made to Nation Media Group. You know, it's not like the payment made to officers. They are not even payment made to some random suppliers. Things that can be easily explained. Senator Nyonka, then Senator Spooner.
Chair, Governor, you are CEO of Finance. Who is it Mr. Chacha? Yeah. No. The reason why I'm raising, if you look at that voucher, the CEO of Finance has actually endorsed it. And I just wanted to ask why the CEO of Finance found it very difficult to produce this voucher, because there are copies available in his office as it's moved from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Why was the Auditor General not able to be given this voucher to validate a simple payment like this?
Yep. Senator Sifuna,
Yeah.
I'm sure the same frustration.
Chair, I want to help the governor of Kisii. If there are saboteurs in your administration, you allow us to deal with them. Don't protect anybody. Because unfortunately for you, you also hold a very high office in a political party. He's essentially my boss, the chair. And when such accusations are made against a governor from my party, I have a lot of difficulty explaining myself in the public. So I will not allow it to happen, Governor. As I told you, I'm also an accounting officer. I am audited. We go through this process. Luckily for me, I have a fantastic team at the party headquarters led by Joshua Kawino, somebody who you know very well. There is no way, Governor, Kawino can be asked to provide a voucher and he doesn't provide it and it ends up as an audit query. That is why for the past 15 years, ODM has had a clean audit. I've never had to appear before a committee of parliament to be grilled the way that you're being grilled. The law is very clear that failure to provide a document at the point of audit is actually an offense. So allow us to identify these characters who are sabotaging your administration, because this is something that, as the chair has rightfully noted, can very easily be used to mudsling a county governor, where there is no wrongdoing, no money has been lost, just somebody failing to provide a voucher when they should provide a voucher. So this one is unacceptable, Governor. It's unacceptable, and Chair, for me, we identify the officers responsible for production of documents. I think you will remind us, clerk, what the law says, the responsibility to produce documents during audit. That officer, Governor, even if he's your friend, deliver him to our hands. You just wash your hands and let the Senate do with him as it will please, because we cannot allow this to continue, and we shouldn't be sitting here to look at vouchers. You are not like Isiolo. And I can see the senator of Isiolo has walked in. We are not like Isiolo, because the documents you present here, they look like authentic documents. You should just have provided them during the time of audit.
Chair, you know,
Senator Gata.
my good friend, Governor, confirmed there are some people who are trying to sabotage him. Actually, that was his assertion the very moment that he started talking. Maybe he could tell us more. Yeah, maybe these people are just feeling himself. Maybe they are, you know, he just confirmed himself. Maybe they are, because it is not logical that auditors are here. You can't produce a voucher. The CC, I mean, CEO Finance is there, CC Finance is there. Then until when you come before the commission, that's when the vouchers are there, and you know these are records. Yeah, Governor, could you
Can you name them?
You name and assume.
Chair, I will take the ball, the individuals who are supposed to play. Allow me, because out of this, and I am happy that we are discussing about this discussion, and it's good that I've brought before you. And I've tried to bring these people before the Senate, including my CEC and other staff that they are supporting him, to answer these questions. But for sure, Chair, you'll hear a lot of noise. There will be a lot of cries. Because most of them, they will be given a process of dismissal from service. There are people who have refused actually to move with me. Therefore, the only thing is that we'll have to follow due process to ask them and work elsewhere, either in their homes, all other opportunities they will be able to get outside there. Therefore, Chair, the only promise that even in the next meeting, I'll have come up with individuals and their role. Because as you have put it, we cannot be discussing of 6 million. Forget about 6. You will see there is many other things. When I was going through the report, I'm like, really? This kind of thing is what you want us to go to the Senate to answer? These things could have been done at the county level. Therefore, Chair, I'm happy that you have asked. I'll give those up to us.
Now, who's the head of the treasury in the county?
The CC Finance.
CC Finance. Are you a finance person?
I'm not an accountant by profession.
What's your profession?
I'm become insurance.
You are an insurer.
Yes, sir. Yes, yeah.
The chief officer of finance, is the chief officer of finance present? Yes. Chief officer of finance.
Yes, Vincent Okyoba, the Chief Officer of Finance.
What's your background? Profession?
International Relations.
That's where
First of all, Senator Dulo, Senator Lelegwe, please go on record.
Tubadulo Senator Isiola, member of the
Senator Lelegwe.
I'm Lelegwe, Senator for Samburu, member of the committee.
Yeah, the two senators were with us earlier. They had to go for another meeting. I know we have not put it as a requirement in law that for you to be a chief officer, CEC finance, you must be a round peg in a round hole. But perhaps those are, you're international relations guy. You can do very well in another function, rather than preparation of financial statements, unless there is something extremely special about him. Because that is why we're having these problems. So it's like Nairobi County, where the fire department has got theologians and librarians. Are you going to be able to solve these things if you're putting round pegs in square holes?
So Governor, maybe who signed the statements?
Chair, the head of Treasury is the CFO.
No.
The
Head of Treasury is defined in the PFM.
That's true,
It's
Chair.
defined in the PFM, and is the Auditor General. It's there in the PFM. It's not, that one is not subject to your executive order. That job description is defined. It's actually the CEC finance. The accounting officer there is a chief officer. The CFO would work under the direction and guidance of those two. Those two positions are extremely important. But governors want to give them to buddies, people that they can meet behind the tent.
Not necessarily, Chair. It's not issues. When you have made them behind the tent, then what?
So
What happens?
Governor, what happens behind the tent remains there. It remains there, so we wouldn't know.
Yeah, I think we need to professionalize the public service even in counties. And maybe it's time for us to make it a requirement from our observations, to make it a requirement that at a minimum the chief officer finance ought to be someone who's well versed, so that they can take professional responsibility. A lot of these things, I'm seeing an accountant has signed your financial statements. Vincent Okioma Nyangwara, that's the IR guy. Yeah, Vincent can do well as an ambassador, because that's what international relations people do. Now, I'm seeing someone assigned here as head of accounting unit without putting the name. Who is this person? ISPAC member number 13733. Yes, what is your role in the county?
I was formerly head of accounts.
And currently?
At the CFO.
Currently the CFO.
Yeah.
So the CFO reports to the chief officer, finance.
Yeah, yes.
So we have had these conversations that people with professional responsibility, like members of ISPAC, members of the Law Society of Kenya, members of, are you an ACI? CC?
This is Asia.
You are an ACI.
ACI.
Yeah, so you also have some professional responsibility, which I'll be reporting you to your professional bodies for disciplinary action. And we have agreed with ISPAC that should be the route, because how can accountants prepare financial statements that get adverse disclaimers, or financial statements, then they say that it presents a true and fair picture of the enterprise, and yet we've got such ridiculous audit issues pending. So I think that's a general recommendation that we'll be making on professional responsibility. So the next matter, I think 2.3 is also addressed.
Yes, addressed.
Payments to Safaricom, payments to Nation Media Group. 2.4, unsupported legal expenses.
That one not addressed. Probably the next one should be on page 18 of the summary.
So before you go to page 18, there was a matter of irregular earnings of